Few boxers can boast about such a bright and eventful career as Mike Tyson. Mike's reputation and the magic of his name were so frightening that many of his rivals broke even before entering the ring. But there were those who got involved with Tyson in mental games, taunted him before and now we will talk about the most cocky rivals of the legendary champion and how their story with Mike ended. I want to fight Mike Tyson, period. He is a comedian, a real comedian, and I'll knock him out. Mitch Green, before the fight against Mike Tyson, was considered a very promising boxer. In the amateur ring, he twice became winner of the Inter-City Golden Gloves, winning 64 fights out of 71, with 51 won by knockout. Green's most significant achievement in the amateurs was the victory over the future world champion Tony Tubbs. In the professional ring, before the fight against Iron, Mitch had a fairly good track record, having won 16 fights, 10 by knockout, lost 1 fight, and 1 was a draw. But when taking a closer look at the boxer's track record, the saying that all that glitters is not gold comes to mind. Green's most notable achievements were a defeat in a close fight against future world champion Trevor Berbick and a victory over journeyman Floyd Cummings. Despite this, Mitch was incredibly cocky and self-confident, insulting Tyson and even promised to kill him in the ring. The mutual dislike was aggravated by the fact that both grew up in Brownsville, and during their school years were members of 2 opposing street gangs. Green's behavior before the fight really angered Mike, who promised to punish him in the ring.
Ready to go to work, and in fact he is. Hector Camacho takes a shower with more stuff.
The fight took place on May 20th, 1986. From the start, it became noticeable that all the audacity and self-confidence of Green disappeared. When the starting gong sounded, Mike attacked his opponent, with the clear intention of blowing his head off his shoulders for all the insults before the fight. Having a noticeable superiority in size, Green tried to use the jab, but against Tyson, who had a colossal advantage in speed and perfectly working body, this was not a serious problem. With ease, Mike was closing the distance, unleashing a hail of powerful blows on his opponent.
Always aggressive, right in front of his man. Now we see some head movement. That might type that Mitch Green makes it. That's what no thing is stress. Slapping his points down your
Green quickly realized that going back and forth against Mike means dooming himself to a painful defeat by knockout. And after missing the first serious blow, he tried to just survive, running away from a formidable opponent around the entire ring. Such tactics saved Mitch from the worst, but Tyson still occasionally managed to shake his counterpart with powerful hits.
That was a good attempt with that right hand for Tyson. And now we see Mitch Green. He landed with a good uppercut there.
Iron Mike had an unreal advantage, and over time, he began to mock his opponent, dropping his hands and inviting him to strike. Green's rare attacks flew past the target, and Mike continued to calmly score points and, as it seemed, was not really forcing anything.
Good body shot by Mitch Green. Now he's in a different manner, probably. He's holding behind the head, which he allows those shots like that to land. There again.
At some point, the fight against Green was a reminder of Tyson's previous fight against James Tillis, which he had had only 17 days ago. The only difference is that Tillis at least tried to win, and Mitch Green simply decided to survive at any cost until the final gong. At the end of the fight, the judges with a huge advantage gave Mike a well-deserved victory by unanimous decision.
Pat Dolan watched it at 9-1. And Judge Georgie Colon observed the fight 9-1 for the winner. For his 21st straight win in as many fights, Mike Tyson.
Tyson not only got even with the hated opponent for all the statements before the fight, but also showed that he was able to box with cold blood and discipline, correctly distributing his energy over the entire distance of the fight. This defeat did not teach Green good manners, and he tried in every possible way to challenge Mike to a second fight. A kind of rematch did take place on August 23, 1988, but it was outside the ring. After learning that the champion was shopping with his friend at a clothing store in Harlem, the controversial boxer headed there to provoke Iron Mike and secure a rematch. Starting a fight, Mitch hit Mike. In response, Tyson sent his opponent to the floor with a single blow. According to the media, Mike hit Green with such force that he broke his arm, and Green got 5 stitches in his nose. After this incident, Mitch filed a civil lawsuit, receiving $45,000 in damages. In 1993, the boxer returned to the ring, but did not get any big fights, finally ending his career in August 2005. Marvis is a truck, and Tyson is a car that will get run over. I saw Tyson in the ring, and he is a good fighter. He's good with the guys he fights, but he hasn't met a truck like Marvis.
It did not last 20 seconds.
Soon the world will see what Tyson is really made of. The world will see that Marvis is the kind of a person who is hard to beat. In my opinion, Marvis will get the job done no matter the cost. He will get a clean win, whether it's a knockout or a decision. This is an exact prediction that the legendary Joe Frazier gave on the eve of the fight between his eldest son and Iron Mike. I am not at all flattered when people say that Tyson reminds them of myself in my prime. I proved that I am a champion. People think that Tyson is a future champion, but at the moment he has not proven anything. I fought the best. He fights against anyone. Marvis is bigger than Tyson, stronger than Tyson, and he knows what to do in the ring. He has experience, and he understands how to use it. He has dreamt of a fight against Mike Tyson and got it. Now we're coming for Mike Tyson. We're coming for him together. This year marks the 37th anniversary of the Frazier's family fight for a dream that turned into a nightmare in the blink of an eye, providing experts and other number collectors with no statistics to analyze the fight in detail, because just a few moments after the kickoff bell, Marvis, backed against the ropes in the corner, was nearly decapitated by an uppercut.
Scoring system if the rounds wind up even, and the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Tyson comes out slugging.
He comes out smoking like Marvis's father, Joe. Marvis must move or we're going to be out of here very, very quickly. Uppercut and Marvis.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Frazier fell to the canvas, unconscious, and referee Joe Cortez immediately intervened, signaling to stop the fight, which turned out to be more like a slaughter with a duration of 30 seconds. I was sure. I knew I would stop him in the first round. I knew this because Coach told me that when he punches, he leans over. I knew there would be a moment that would be perfect for my uppercut. I felt it in my guts that I would stop him in the first round. After this fatal fight, Marvis Frazier fought 3 more professional fights against low opposition and hung up his gloves at the age of 26. 7 months after his retirement from boxing, Frazier Jr. explained why he decided not to continue his career. Dad said when boxing starts to feel like work, do something else. And what I was doing started to feel like work. You must know when to quit the game. I didn't feel motivated to get results. Motivation left me. This is how the boxer who was predicted to be a huge success, if not in the heavyweight division then in the cruiserweight, before even reaching the peak of his abilities, lost his motivation. And to a greater extent, if not completely, thanks to the devastating defeat against Mike, which went down in boxing history as one of the fastest boxing fights. Meet Tyrell Biggs, one of the most promising boxers of the 80s and early 90s. Olympic champion in 1984 and also part-time Mike Tyson's most hated rival. The history of hate goes back to the 80s, when both fighters were still amateurs. Tyrell was showing great potential. Still, with a height of 6'5", he was ideally suited for the role of a new Muhammad Ali. Briggs, like his legendary predecessor, was fast, moved good on his feet, and did not know what it was to be defeated. Mike Tyson at the same time was taking his first steps towards the amateur podium. Despite the fact that in terms of size, the Brooklyn hooligan was not super gifted, due to his phenomenal strength, he managed to overcome opponents taller than him. Legendary Cus D'Amato managed to turn a minus into a plus, making his short height an advantage. But still, not a lot of people believed in the success of the guy. So when the American national team faced a choice of who would represent the United States at the 1984 Olympics, the team chose Biggs, destroying all of Iron's dreams for an Olympic medal. This is where the personal dislike of young Tyson towards Briggs began. But the final nail of hatred was because of Tyrell himself at the same Olympics. The rumored story was that Tyson, before his team went to the tournament, came to visit his national team to wish them good luck. And there was Briggs, who, in response to the wishes of his future counterpart, simply trolled him. Having said, I quote, "And what did you forget here?" The resentment got deep into Mike's heart, so in the future he intended to get his revenge. It didn't take long for Briggs to win an Olympic medal and then turn professional. In 1986, Iron Mike would win his first world title by defeating Canadian Trevor Berbick, thus becoming the youngest world heavyweight champion. After that, there were 2 more belts in the WBA and IBF versions. Boxers and analysts wondered who could stop this knockout machine, and at that moment the silhouette of an old friend in the face of Tyrell Biggs appeared on the horizon. Tyrell, unlike Tyson, did not immediately manage to adapt his amateur style to professional boxing. It took some time for the Olympic champion to change the way he fought, to start doing it in a more professional way. But the gifted American finally managed to do it, also becoming a dangerous puncher whose blows everyone was afraid of. It was clear to everyone that the paths of the former teammates would cross, and in November '87, it happened. Before the fight, Tyrell assured everyone that Tyson was not really an opponent for him by stating the following: "He hasn't fought people like me who have a strong jab and can box, against those who enter the ring not only to survive. Do you think I'll be afraid of a guy his size? Everyone writes me off, but I don't think so. Come to our fight. I will shock the world." And then it was time for the fight.
Your instructions prior to coming into the ring. Therefore, I expect a good, clean bout. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves, go back to your corner. Good luck.
At the beginning of the fight, Biggs was looking better. He was easily moving on his feet and successfully delivering jabs, while Mike Tyson did not cause significant damage. Everyone has a plan for the fight until the first missed blow. These words can describe the second round of this fight, when Biggs missed a hard left from Iron Mike, after which he began to slowly get lost. At the end of the fourth round, it became clear to everyone that Tyrell can't be saved. Mike systematically destroyed his opponent, enjoying every moment of the fight. By the middle of the fight, the Olympic champion turned into a whipping boy. Fans wondered when the end of the fight would come, and then it came in the seventh round.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Usually, after the fight, boxers exchange compliments to each other, but this time Iron Mike finished off his opponent and openly talked trash about him in front of the public. Probably the same situation from 1984 was to blame.
Broke him down. Was it just
constantly body punches? When I was hitting him with body punches, I heard him, actually he was crying in there, making woman gestures like, I can't find him, but I knew that he was breaking down soon.
You're saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him?
Yes.
Mike Tyson won his first WBC title at the age of 20 in November 1986 by brutally knocking out Trevor Berbick in the second round.
He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor Berbick falls back in the ring. It's all over. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
The warrior inside the boxer pushed Mike to new heights. His goal was to become the undisputed champion. The first step in this direction was taken in his next fight, in March 1987, when his unification fight against WBA title holder James Bonecrusher Smith took place. James Smith was born on April 3, 1953, in a family of farmers. He grew up as an exemplary child, got a good education, and loved sports since childhood. Smith began boxing at a more than mature age, when he served in the U.S. Army. In 1978, he left the service and went to Philadelphia, where he met legendary Joe Frazier, who became his mentor. In 1981, James made the decision to go pro. "I wanted to play football at school, but my parents forbade me for fear that I might get injured. I ended up being a boxer," Smith said with a laugh many years later. Smith had an outstanding size. Height, 6'4", arm span, 82 inches. He had enviable physical strength and a powerful blow, but his professional debut didn't go as planned. His team took a huge risk by accepting a fight against former successful amateur James Broad. Broad knocked out Smith in the 4th round, but this failure did not break him. He won 13 fights in a row, 11 of which by knockout. After that, he faced rising star Frank Bruno, who won by knockout in all of his 21 fights and did not know what defeat was.
And the time for punching.
Bruno's team considered the fight against Smith as a warm-up before the title fight against Larry Holmes, but Smith showed excellent fighting qualities. For 8 rounds in a row, James endured a hard beating, taking really terrible blows and patiently waiting for his moment. His moment came in the 9th round, when Bruno began to rapidly lose energy. Smith managed to seize the initiative, and in the final 10th round, he knocked out his opponent. Bruno was a good boxer. I found the strength to knock him out in the last round. He wanted to fight Larry Holmes, but I foiled his plans, James later recalled. Smith himself fought against Larry Holmes. He looked good against the legendary champion, putting up a very decent fight, but the class and experience of Holmes did not allow the miracle to happen. Smith was stopped on advice of the doctor in the 12th round due to a cut.
After this fight, it's over, and it's over. It is over, and there are 2 game warriors.
After the fight, a black chain of events began in Smith's career. Of the next 4 fights, he won only 1, getting a hard points victory over Jose Ribalta, losing by decision to Tony Tubbs, Tim Witherspoon, and Marvis Frazier. Luck favors the strong. It was not Smith's habit to get depressed and lose faith. Bonecrusher made a spectacular comeback after defeats, knocking out ex-world champion Mike Weaver in the 1st round, and then defeated Jesse Ferguson and David Bay on points. This allowed him, in December 1986, to go to a rematch against Witherspoon, who managed to win the WBA heavyweight title. The second charge for the championship title ended successfully. Bonecrusher knocked out Witherspoon in the 1st round, fully getting even for the defeat in the first fight. In less than 3 minutes, James sent the opponent to the floor of the ring 3 times. HBO analyst Larry Merchant called the 33-year-old Smith's victory a monumental upset.
Witherspoon's still in trouble. Down he goes again, and now it's over.
Smith did not walk in the rank of world champion for long. On March 7, 1987, his unification fight against Mike Tyson took place. The WBC champion was considered to be the clear favorite, and the main intrigue of the fight was in which round Smith would fall under the pressure of a furious tornado named Mike Tyson. But James managed to shut down those who predicted his inevitable early collapse, forcing Tyson to work hard for the victory. Significantly superior to his opponent in size, Smith from the very beginning of the fight tried to impose the tactics of infighting on the opponent, constantly initiating clinches and not giving his opponent the opportunity to work effectively. Tyson dominated the fight, but failed to inflict serious damage on the opponent. James didn't try to win that fight. He was content with the fact that he secured his stay in the ring against a formidable opponent, and at the same time managed to break his plans for the fight. The referee was not enthusiastic about the tactics of the WBA champion, punishing him in the 2nd and 8th rounds with deductions for constantly holding the opponent. But the boxer continued to stick to his plan.
Well, he found the target for that one. He's been missing a bit with him, Tyson, but the left hook came through. But he really is grabbing for dear life there. Now the referee's going to do something about this, I'm sure. And he's sending him at neutral corner. And he's taking a point away for holding for Smith. Well, I don't think it's going to go to points anyway. In fact, I'm sure it isn't. Now let's have a look at some replay there now. It's all Tyson crowded in, and it's Bonecrusher hanging on for the most part. Well, there's not too much Marvis of Queensbury.
He lost round after round, but continued to stop Mike's attacks with constant grabs.
They're shouting out, "Don't wait" in Tyson's corner. Let punches go. Well, I tell you, the expression on this, well, as I said, he's hoping to let Tyson punch himself up. That's a mistake. And he wants to go on fighting. This is really bad. I can't understand. For Smith trying to make Tyson look ordinary, but he's not doing anything to win the fight by walking away like that. We haven't come to see road work. Now, the referee has got to do something about that. Who refused to fight him and walked out the ring and got disqualified for it. And they're still at it on. I had never seen, certainly, a championship fight. Round 7. Well, that's possibly the best punch he's taken in 7 rounds to get through, and he's trying to... Well, that was... Whoop, they almost hit him on the floor there, and he's kind of... Let's have a look at some replay now of that one. Got inside, and you see that slip, you see, fell over, waiting for it. And at the end of the 7th there, Bonecrusher Smith really unloaded some dangerous-looking punches. Now, is this really what he's been trying to do from the start or not? About calling for the team in football here. Oh. Great expectations with that one. It wasn't to the body, it was just below the chin. Judge and 2 from Nevada. From Nevada.
Smith achieved his greatest success in the final, 12th round, when, a few seconds before the gong, he hit Tyson with a powerful right hand. But the underdog simply didn't have the time to develop on this success, and Mike won by unanimous decision, twice 119-107 and 120-106.
For the new
Well,
WBA, WBC
a runaway points victory then, isn't it, for Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
So he stood up to be the...
When I was trying to put the punches together, he grabbed. This hurts boxing. People expect a performance. Mike criticized Smith's tactics after the fight. I think I could have won if I had listened to the coach, but my experience still helped me a lot. I managed to withstand his pressure. Mike was very good, incredibly fast and strong. He had great defense. He knew where to hit. The day after the fight, I felt overwhelmed, Smith later recalled. Larry Holmes established himself in the elite of professional boxing at the age of 28, defeating the great Ken Norton in June 1978 and taking away his WBC title. The fight between Holmes and Norton turned into an exciting battle between two gladiators of the ring, in which no one wanted to lose. Control of the fight passed from one boxer to another, and the final, 15th round was full of a fierce exchange of blows. Unlike the audience, judges at the ring were not particularly enthusiastic, because judging such fights is not an easy task. Two of them gave the performance to Holmes with a score of 143-142, and the third with the same score saw the advantage of Norton. I am proud of this fight. I took the world title from a great fighter. Nobody believed that I could do it. This is the hardest fight of my career. After the Ken Norton fight, my 20 title defenses were just child's play, Holmes recalled years later. Having knocked out Alfredo Evangelista, Ossie Ocasio, and Mike Weaver one after another, Holmes fought against Ernie Shavers, whom he confidently defeated on points before the fight against Norton. Shavers was not difficult from a technical point of view, but he had a truly lethal blow. According to many analysts, it is Ernie Shavers who is the owner of the most powerful knockout blow in boxing history. Shortly before the rematch with Holmes, the challenger had a fight against Ken Norton, ending it with a brutal knockout already in the first round. Ernie's punching reputation was confirmed in the second fight against Holmes. Larry easily outboxed his opponent, but in the 7th round he blundered Shavers' blow from the right. Knockdown. With an incredible effort of will, the champion managed to continue the fight and complete the round on his feet. After that blow, Larry did not give his opponent any opportunities and won by knockout in the 11th round. Shavers was the strongest puncher out of all my opponents. I was on the verge of losing consciousness. Ernie managed to be the champion for 5 seconds. Shavers' blow is comparable to a truck that hits you at full speed, Holmes later recalled. Holmes continued to successfully defend his title, but the public did not want to recognize him as a champion. In October 1980, he fought the legendary Muhammad Ali, who by that time was only a shadow of his former self. Holmes tried to not go full power to not harm his idol, but Ali still suffered significant damage in that fight. The brutal beating was over in the 10th round. The Easton Assassin continued to successfully defend his title for another 5 years, winning fights against Jerry Cooney, Leon Spinks, James Smith, Trevor Berbick, Tim Witherspoon, and Carl Williams. The boxer brought his record to an impressive 48-0. The record of the great Rocky Marciano was within reach, but the 36-year-old Holmes lost when nobody expected. Former undisputed light heavyweight champion Michael Spinks in September 1985 sensationally defeated Larry by unanimous decision, took the championship title, and destroyed his dreams of breaking Marciano's record. Then there was a decision to hold a rematch, but in April 1986, Spinks prevailed again, this time by a split decision. The decision was controversial, and after the fight, frustrated Holmes decided to end his boxing career. For 2 years, the boxer enjoyed his time outside the ring, until his peace was disturbed by the odious Don King, who wanted to drag him into the ring with Mike Tyson. Never known for having good manners, Holmes insulted Tyson in every possible way before the fight. He claimed that his young opponent was an overhyped champion with nothing special about him. Mike, in turn, promised to shut Holmes up and at the same time get even with him for his idol Muhammad Ali. It was a gamble to take on such a dangerous opponent as Tyson after a long break, and experienced Holmes clearly knew that he was far from being in his best form. But a solid fee and pride apparently made the veteran believe that experience and his skill should be enough to defeat the young lion. The fight took place on January 22, 1988. 38-year-old Holmes was only a shadow of his former self in his best years. His excellent jab was not as sharp as usual, and exemplary footwork was only sporadically noticeable. The 21-year-old Tyson was superior to his famous opponent, primarily in speed, and both in attacking and defensive actions. Mike quickly closed the distance, stunning the veteran with powerful blows, and excellent reaction allowed him to dodge most of Larry's punches. Holmes, who was not in his best physical condition, could hardly hold back his opponent's onslaught, but it was clear that the fight was unlikely to go even beyond round 6. Mike easily overcame the opponent's jab, reaching a comfortable distance, where he gradually destroyed the opponent with his punches. Always known for an enviable chin, Holmes endured all these terrible hits, but Tyson's blows did not stop.
Exactly how to tie him up when he gets inside. He's not going to let Mike wail away with him.
Larry, get him down, Larry. Let's go, come on.
Start mounting some offense. Through the right hand that time, it hit Mike, but grazed him on the chin. Mike shakes his head no. Mike almost has to reach up to get his 5'11 and a half. Larry's 6'3". Tyson showing no respect so far, boring in the way he always does. Larry has a more confident look on his face now than he had in the first round. Left hook caught him that time, though. Tyson just showing no fear of Holmes. Larry finally goes on offense at the 38 years old. Larry Holmes is in magnificent shape. Big question is how long can his legs stay strong? There's a lot of pressure on him constantly in this fight. Again, Tyson tries to put the pressure on Larry. Larry lashes out with that left hand and then ties him up. Larry with that left hand down, and he better not leave it down. He better keep it up in the face of this guy. Now Larry tries to work some uppercuts. Larry lets the right hand go, but Mike very slick, ducks underneath it. Holmes comes with an uppercut of his own. Tyson runs from his stool, attacks Holmes. He's going to keep the pressure on him constantly. Holmes still won most of his fights by accumulating punches before his knockouts occurred. And again, Larry knows how to tie him up. When Larry was up on his toes and sticking and moving with that left hand. This is the third round. Thus far in this round, we're at the midway point, a difficult round to score. Holmes looked again almost awkward throwing that right hand. Like to keep your hands up. Oh, first good right hand landed.
The veteran could only hold on for 3 rounds, and in the 4th there was a logical and predictable ending. First, Larry fell after a crushing hook from the right.
But a 38-year-old Larry Holmes cannot continue that round after round. Oh, a big right hand, and down goes the former champion. He was nailed right in the button. The count is up to 6.
The fall was hard, but he found the strength to continue the fight. Moments later, the Easton assassin fell back down to the floor after a smashing combination by iron, but again got up, convincing the referee that he was ready to continue the fight.
It's up to 7 and 8. He's going to be able to...
Demonstrating miracles of endurance, Holmes missed a dozen of the most powerful hits, while still standing on his feet. But soon Tyson's ferocious combination put the contender on the canvas for the 3rd time. This time, referee Joe Cortez didn't even start the countdown and gave the go-ahead to end the fight.
He is knocked out! He didn't even bother the count! It was a vicious right hand! It came like a bolt! We looked for it, and Larry got hurt! A big right hand ends the career!
After the fight, there was no trace of the former enmity. The 38-year-old veteran praised his opponent, calling him a real champion, and said that Tyson is much better than he thought. Mike was very pleased with such a flattering statement by the legendary opponent, and he did not remain in debt, calling Larry the best of his opponents. With this, friends, we end our review. I hope you found it interesting and informative. If so, support our channel with your likes and reposts, and thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye.